So Justine is going to do our call today. Michelle can't be here, so I think Justine had already planned to do the call. So all okay. Okay, so yeah, you're unmuted now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Go for it.
All right. So hopefully everyone knows me. I'm Justine, and I've been a coach for 2 years now. And one thing I didn't know a ton about when I first started was volume. It probably took me about a year to really understand it all. I think everyone probably knows that all of our orders have a volume amount, but what really does that volume do for everybody? So I like to refer to my volume as my Beachbody bank account. So today I will talk about the volume and cycling, which is something some of you may not have ever really looked into before either. Once I got a better understanding of cycling and how it happens, then I was able to use it more to increase my income. So the first thing is every order that's placed through your coaches and their customers has a volume amount attached to it. For example, Shakeology is 90 PV. Every week, this volume adds up. And if you're an active Emerald coach, then you have a chance of cycling your volume and earning $14. If you aren't an Emerald coach, or if you're not an active Emerald coach, then you can't cycle that volume and you can't earn that extra money. So it's almost like you're throwing away this extra money that you could have. So if you don't want to throw away any of that money, I would try hard to get to Emerald as soon as possible. Back to cycling, everyone should know that we have our two legs. You have your weak leg and your strong leg, and it'll be opposite for different people depending on where you are in your uplines. Legs as well. So in order to cycle and earn that $14, you need to have volume accumulated every week on both of those legs. So that means you need to have coaches on both of those legs, either ordering Shakeology on their own, or they have customers that are placing orders every week. You need 200 points on your strong leg, and that's the leg that your upline coach adds to. So some weeks you may see coaches that you are added underneath of you, and you're like, where did this coach come from? But that's your strong leg that your coach adds to. And then 100 points on your weak leg, and that's the leg that only you add to. If you have that on Wednesday night and are an active Emerald coach, you will cycle and earn $14. And you could cycle multiple times in a week, earning more than just the $14. It's depending on how much volume the coaches underneath you produce that week. The best part is if you have more than the 200 points on your strong leg, so say if you have 330 points, these are just random numbers, on your strong leg and 152 on your weak leg, you don't have enough to cycle 2 times. You only have enough to cycle once. But that extra $130 or 130 points, from your strong leg and the 62 on your weak leg, it doesn't go away. It'll carry over until the next week, and then it'll count towards making your volume higher for that next week. I hope this is all making sense. It's a lot of facts that you just kind of have to learn about and watch in your coach online office to really understand it, which is how I learned how to do it. So with that volume that can carry over into the next week, if you drop down your rank and you're not Emerald anymore, then that carryover volume goes away too. So you're, again, almost throwing away this extra money that you could have. So try not to lose your rank. That's why it's important to look into your coach online office, see if anyone's going to be going inactive, maybe reach out to them, message them.
I have a question. Sorry, Justine.
Yeah.
So the team cycle bonus, it can happen like more than once, like a week. Like it's just dependent on how many points you accumulate.
Yeah. So I think this week I maybe cycled 4 times, and that I think I had 90 points left over from last week. So that would then carry over to this week, and as long as I have enough points on the other side and get some points this week, then I should be able to cycle again.
Sorry, Cassie, this might help you. If you see, like on your Coach Online Office, you'll see I think it's on the left-hand side, you'll see right leg and left leg volume. And every day, like those numbers sort of creep up a little bit. And then Thursday morning, they'll be both back at 0. So every Thursday, you will wake up in your Coach Online Office and those volume numbers will be 0 again. And then they start to climb again as the week goes on. And then Wednesday night, they get cashed in and then they go back to 0. So that's sort of how you can always be keeping an eye on your volume every day to see where you're at and how many times you're going to cycle that week.
Where was I? So back to the bank account. Another way to look at your carryover volume is as your Beachbody bank account. Everyone's strong leg gets coaches added to it from their upline. And I already talked about that with seeing the random coaches, which is great because those coaches and their customers will add to your volume, which helps you cycle. This is called residual income, which I remember in our Diamond group, I think Michelle asked us if we knew what residual income is, and there's a few of us that said, no, we don't know what that is. And we were probably already making a little bit of it and not even really realizing it. So you don't really have to do anything, and you're able to earn money by the coaches and their customers underneath of you. So again, if you're an active Emerald or above coach, you can look in your Coach Online Office, like Megan said. On the left-hand side is the volume, and you can see your right and left legs and what they're at. So I'll just give you an idea of what mine looked like for my carryover volume. Actually, I don't think you can see that on the left-hand side. So if you go into Coach Online Office, then you'll go to my business, my volume, my carryover volume, and it will show you the amounts that are saved up for you to be able to cycle in future weeks. So for me last week, my weak leg had 93 points, which isn't enough to cycle yet. I would need 7 more points. And my strong leg had 100,671 points. Obviously, you can see that I need to work on growing my weak leg with more coaches and helping them learn how to run the business, find customers and coaches themselves so that I'm cycling more. I did end up cycling, I think, like I said, 4 times on top of that 93. So I did get enough points to do some cycling, but we can do the math on that 100,000 points that I have. So to figure out if you want to go into your Coach Online Office and see how much money you have sitting in your Beachbody bank account, go to that carryover volume and you would take your strong leg, which for me is 100,671 points, divide it by 200, which is what you need to cycle. So I could potentially cycle 503 times in the future, only if I continue to build my weak leg to get enough volume. And if I cycled 503 times, and because I'm a diamond, I make $18 a cycle, that's $9,060 that's waiting there for me. There is, you can max out at certain times. I didn't really want to get into a ton of that because it's, for new people, this is probably a lot to take in, but you can max out at the amount of times you can cycle. So I would never be able to make that $9,000 in 1 week as a diamond coach. So how can we build our weak leg or either leg really to keep working that volume, sign discount coaches. You'll earn volume every time their Shakeology ships. Or best of all, sign working coaches, and you can earn their volume when they order their own products, plus their customers' volume. And another thing I do to help my weak leg produce more volume, my husband is signed as a coach on my weak leg. So any non-challenge pack sales, I put right through his account. Because I want the points, obviously. But if I put any other orders, so the $99 all access or base DVD kits, or someone wants a jug of Energize or something, I put that order. As long as they're not already a customer of mine, if they're a new customer, then I'll send them my husband's link so that he makes the commission, but it goes into my bank account. I have his direct deposit set up to my bank account. But then that volume that his account is earning will then go towards my volume. So then I'm cycling more, which is making you more money. So, and then also once I hit SC10, I also put any challenge pack orders under his account, because to earn, we've just been talking about the Success Club trips and everything. I think you only need 10 points every month, and you should be able to earn that trip to go on it. So once I hit SC10, any challenge pack orders go under him as well. So that I'm still I'm double dipping almost. I'm still making that income, but I'm also earning more volume.
I have
to go back over everything, because I'm sure that was kind of
3 trips after
like brand new. You're probably like, what the heck am I talking about? All orders earn a volume amount. You should be able to see that attached to the order when they do the order. And you'll also see it, your volume increase on that left-hand side in Coach Online Office. If you're an active Emerald coach, you can cycle your volume to earn $14 every cycle. Ruby coaches earn $16, and Diamond and above earn $18. So to cycle, you need 100 points on your weak leg and 200 on your strong leg. If there's leftover points after that, then they can carry over, and they are saved in your carryover volume or Beachbody bank account to use in your future weeks. If you drop down to a regular coach, then that Beachbody bank account goes away, right back to zero. So hit Emerald, stay active, keep helping customers, convert them into coaches, teach them how to help people, and you should see your volume increase, cycles happen, and earn more money. That's all I have. Who has questions?
Justine, maybe do you want to show in the back office to them where they can see the volume?
Yep.
I have a question too again, sorry. So you have to have both your legs cycling in order to get, or you have to have points on both legs in order to get a cycle, like a certain amount of points you were saying?
Yeah. So do you know which leg is your strong leg and your weak leg?
Yep.
So you would need 200 points on that strong leg and 100 points on your weak leg to cycle.
Which the strong leg generally wouldn't be hard, because we have...
Your strong leg probably always has more than enough points. Like mine has 100,000, right? So
right, because everybody...
That's not even an issue for me. It's my weak leg that's always going right back down to zero every week, because I'm using...
So is it more beneficial, would you say, to add people to your weak leg, like build your weak leg up a little bit more first?
If you're wanting to work the business for income more than like a rank advance, then yeah, probably.
Okay.
But you want to do both.
You want both, yeah.
But I do try to add to my weak leg more to try and get that volume up.
Yeah, Cassie, what I did was, obviously to get to Emerald, you need a coach on your right leg, a coach on your left leg. So it doesn't really matter at that point. And then, as you're working towards Diamond, it has to be even, right? Like you have to start putting coaches on both sides.
Okay.
But then it becomes a point where, you want to build up your weak leg. And so the more people you can sign up on your weak leg, even discount coaches, because discount coaches are going to contribute to that that volume. I like
Because they're ordering it every month.
my weak leg probably has like 3 times as many coaches that my strong leg does, because I purposely filled in that spot. I made a point to put a ton of coaches on my weak leg so that my volume is really, really high. And then of course, when you start to get to a point of when you're at diamond, you really have to make sure you've got active coaches on both sides. And then if you're trying to shoot for, then you start signing up business builders, and you really have to think about where you want them. But in the beginning, you want to make sure your legs are sort of getting evened out, because you want to get to diamond, but then you want to start stacking that weak leg to get as much volume as possible.
So
Okay.
Megan, I never knew that. So each time, I always thought you had to go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So I could now go like left, left, left. You know what I mean? Like on my week.
You can start to, as long as you have enough coaches on your right to keep your diamond.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I have to keep watching that. Yeah, but like once that's
yeah,
good.
then you can start stacking your weak leg.
Okay.
Yep. But you just want to make sure that you're not going to lose rank because your right leg got a bunch of inactive coaches on it. So you always have to, like, that's why, like, I always log into my Coach Online office every single day, because I want to make sure what's going on in there and who, where I'm going to put my next coach. I always know exactly where I want them to go. And it depends if they're going to be a business builder, or they say they're going to be a business builder, or are they just a discount coach. It sort of determines where I'm going to place them. But yeah, in the beginning, I mean, just to get to Emerald, you just need 1 and 1, and you don't even need to overthink it. You just need to get them signed up and get to Emerald as fast as you can, because you're getting volume right now as just a coach, not being Emerald. You are getting volume every single week, and it's basically just going down the toilet. Every Thursday morning, it's getting flushed down the toilet, and you could have been banking that. If you signed up last month, you've kind of missed out on a month of volume. Or if you signed up 6 months ago and still aren't Emerald, you've missed out on a shit ton of volume. So you just want to get to Emerald as fast as you can so you can keep that. And you want to stay Emerald, because if you drop rank, you lose that whole bank account. It just gets wiped out and you're back at 0. So that's why you have to constantly be like, once you get to Emerald, woohoo, that's awesome. But you can lose rank the next week if your coach puts their Shakeology on hold or cancels. So you need to be constantly adding to those legs consistently.
Okay, so I will screen share so I can show. Oh, share screen. Can everyone see my screen, hopefully?
Yep.
Okay. So Coach Online Office. Let me make it bigger. Here is where the volume is. My left leg, which that is my weak leg, is at 0 right now. And my right leg, which is my strong leg, has 600 points. So potentially, if I could get my left leg just to 100 points, then I could cycle once. But with that 500, I could cycle twice, because you need 400 to cycle twice on your strong leg. But then I'll go and show you where to find your carryover volume to see how much you could have sitting potentially there. So you go to my business, my volume, my carryover volume. So over here that's where my carryover on my strong leg is. And here is my weak leg. So these 98 points will count for this week. So all I really need to do is get 2 more points to be able to cycle once. But if I didn't get that 2 points, then that 98 points would carry over again to the next week. This shows how many times I've cycled since I became an Emerald coach. I have never dropped down below Emerald once I became Emerald. So if you want to do the math and that many times 14. That's how many times I've cycled in the past 2 years. You can also look at your volume for this week and every week. So you can look back at all your weeks to see how much volume you earned. This is your personal volume, which does not count towards cycling or anything. That's just your Shakeology and your customers goes all under here. But this, your left leg and your right leg, is your coaches and their customers. I think that's all I have to say. Is there any more questions?
On the app, like if you guys have the Team Beachbody Coach mobile app on your phone, I find it even easier to understand all that stuff. Like I still don't get that. Like Justine understands that like really well. I've never understood it that well. But if you go onto the mobile app and if you click on like monitor my business, and then you can actually go in and see your carryover volume, and it will specifically say like each day how many times you're cycling. So it kind of like simplifies it if like those big numbers kind of freak you out a little bit. And I think, honey, just a second. I think you can even see like your carryover volume too on there. But the app simplifies it a little bit more, I find. But if like that confuses you, that's pretty normal because it confuses me a lot. Like
and it confused me for a long time. Like I was like, I didn't understand what the different, because there's PV, LV, RV. I was like, what does all these initials stand for? I can share a few YouTube videos that might explain it better that I've watched, because it's all in my head, but sometimes it doesn't come out all that right. Was there any questions in the chat, or Dar, did you answer them all?
Yeah, Shelby was just asking about, she wasn't certain that she could put her boyfriend, like the bank account thing, and it can be anybody's bank account. It's the credit card paying for the Shakeology.
Right.
And I think it's changed now. It used to be you plus two. I don't know. I thought I read that somewhere in FAQ. It's like you and
yeah. It's, oh my God. They said that it's allowed to be. Oh my God. It's allowed to be option to use a credit card to cover charges on your own account plus 2 additional coaches or customers where those individuals are either a parent, spouse, or child. And apparently being 10 years but not in the same residence doesn't count.
Yes, and they will find you. They do. That's right.
Yeah, she found me, so I gotta fix that before Monday, before I get in big trouble. So.
Well, or the other thing too, I think you could like get a reloadable Visa card or whatever and use that if you really want to pay for.
He doesn't care. I'm like, I'll just send you money, and he's like, all right, whatever. I don't really care.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway,
Bottom line, guys, I know it's very confusing. If you really, like Justine said, if you really want to learn a little bit more about it, YouTube or Google, use those things. They're there. But the key is getting to that Emerald so that you can create that bank account. Like she said, like you saw her, volume there that's carried over on that strong leg. When her weak leg catches up to that, like she said, like that's a crazy amount of just by working the business and with your coaches. It's working as a team. That's what I like. Like everybody's working together to create this. So it's just, and if you drop rank from Emerald, all that goes away. It's gone. You can't get that back. So that's great call there, Justino.
thanks.
Yeah, good job, Justine. And just sort of what Darlene said too, like it is, we all benefit from the success of others, which like I think is really cool. Maybe you guys said that, but my house is crazy right now. But yeah, like as the more successful that everybody is on this team, the more successful you will be providing you're at Emerald. Because you, on your strong leg, you are getting the volume from all those other coaches that are on our team that you didn't sign up, but that maybe I signed up or Darlene signed up or whoever signed up. Oh my God. So that's why it's just so cool. The better our team does, the better you do. And I'm going to mute myself now.
And I don't want to say, what was I going to say now? I've lost my train of thought. Oh, crap. I'll come back to it. Oh, okay. So like, I don't want to say you get this money for doing nothing. It's not, you're not doing nothing, but it's, I don't even want to say free money. I don't know what the right words for it is, but I know it maybe only seems like $14 if you just cycle once, but that's $14 that is just going to show up from the work of the team together. So that's the residual type of income that if you're looking more for income in this business, that's where you want to focus on. And like Michelle or Megan said, and just like, yes, you get to a certain point, you have to have a coach on each leg. You need to have that even out for that first time when you're getting to diamond, but you're always going to be adding on either discount coaches who love Shakeology or working coaches. But to catch up to that strong leg, that's always going to be higher because it's all of us, with our volume. If you want to catch up to that, yeah, start stacking more on your weak leg when you get to that point. Michelle, so if you, adding your spouse, do you want them on your strong leg? Typically, I think the weak leg is better just for the volume and the income. Now, I'm not 100% on this, but when I signed up Rob, it was at a point where I didn't really know about this, and he's on my strong leg. And I think with Michelle, Terry is also on her strong leg. I think in the end, it all works out, but initially, the weak leg is the best leg to sign him up on that top rung, that first, and that's how you can get to Emerald. You sign your spouse, and if somebody's loving the Shakeology, sign them up. Boom, you're Emerald. You start having that bank account that keeps holding that volume, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and with your spouse, if he's on your week, or your spouse, your mom, your sister, whoever you're able to sign up to help you get to Emerald, and that you might be able to work to diamond. So if your spouse is on your weak leg, like I talked about, you can put orders underneath them that aren't challenge. We can put any orders under them, but what I do is any orders that aren't challenge packs, I put under my husband so that I still earn that commission, but I'm also earning that extra volume on my weak leg because that's my leg that always needs to catch up. If your spouse is on your strong leg, you're just adding volume to a leg that already has a ton of volume. So it's not necessarily, you wouldn't need to do that. So that's the benefit of having them on your weak leg as well, is to be able to put orders through them and help that increase your volume.
Yeah, and another thing I'll just point out too with the app, when you go into the mobile app for your account, and you can break it down. Like if you look at your income, it'll actually break it down where your income is coming from specifically. It might do that on the website, but I find it easier on here. So it will show you how much your paycheck is from last week, and it'll show you how much of that was commission. It'll show you how much of that was your team bonus and a bunch of other things. So it breaks it down. So we hear cycling $14 and we're like, ooh, $14, like, woohoo, it's not that much. But when you start to build up your volume and that starts cycling more and more. So last week I just pulled it up. So just for my volume and cycling, I made $396 last week just by cycling. So that was part of my paycheck, and that wasn't commissions. That was just simply because I'm working the business and I'm cashing in on that team cycle bonus every single week. So as you advance in this business, your income you're like right now when you sign up as a coach and in your first few months, your income is really all about commissions, and that's how you make an income is commissions. But then it starts to sort of flip, and you still have those commissions coming in, but it's your team cycle bonus that starts to really build your income, if that makes sense at all. I think there's some questions in the chat. Is there?
Shelby had a question about, so if you do non-challenge pack orders under spouse, do you just send links with their ID? And I said, yeah. And then she asked, do people ever question it? Like, why is it showing so-and-so as my coach? Blah, blah, blah. I always tell them ahead of time. I've got 2 business accounts and one's my husband. And so we alternate back and forth. And that, don't worry, he is not your coach unless they really want him to be, that I will be. But it's just a business standpoint of thing. And if I'm signing a discount coach under him, I just say that as well, that, that's where I keep all my VIP Shakeology people. And most times, all the time, they don't have a problem with it if you just explain it ahead of time. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Anybody else have questions, comments, concerns? Thanks, Heather. I like that too. So if you're wanting to learn a little bit more about it, if you've got everything kind of down pat, that's fine. But just type in YouTube. Anything on YouTube, you can find a world of knowledge with Beachbody coaching, if you're really wanting to learn more about the volume or the team cycle bonusing and why it's important. So get out there and learn. What was the chat? Ellie wants me to tell everyone she likes apple and banana Shakeology. Perfect. We're viewing Christina's iPad.
All right, if there's no questions, we're good? Everybody good? Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Tell Rob Hoffman to wake up.
He's laying in bed watching the Zoom.
Wake him up.
Yes, wake him up. I know.
All right, bye.
Bye, guys.